Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the quiet collapse of Boo.com, the failure of the online fashion e-commerce store. Take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Even the tallest towers eventually quiet down. Tonight, we gently explore the empty boardrooms and forgotten ambitions of the past. Your mind is calm, and we are ready to begin. An ambitious vision propelled Boo.com into the competitive realm of online fashion retail. Founded in 1998, it sought to revolutionize the shopping experience for consumers across Europe. The concept was rooted in the belief that luxury fashion could seamlessly blend with cutting-edge technology, providing an immersive and interactive browsing experience. This idea manifested in the site's intricate design, featuring high-resolution images, virtual models, and dynamic graphics. Investment poured into the project, with aspirations to create an online shopping environment that transcended conventional e-commerce. The founders envisioned a platform that would invite users to explore products in an engaging manner, akin to a physical boutique. Each element was meticulously crafted to enhance the consumer journey, aiming to captivate and retain attention. Despite the forward-thinking intentions, the operational execution faltered. Technical difficulties emerged frequently, often frustrating potential customers. Loading times became a significant barrier, detracting from the allure of the brand. The ambitious scope of the project clashed with the realities of early internet infrastructure, leading to disillusionment among users. In this region of digital commerce, Boo.com became emblematic of the challenges inherent in merging innovation with practicality. The once promising concept unraveled under the weight of its own ambition. The creation emerged from the innovative minds of Ernst Malmsten, Patrick Hedelin, and Kavpour in 1998. This trio envisioned an online fashion platform that would revolutionize how consumers accessed high-end clothing. Their ambition was fueled by a belief that the digital realm could serve as a vibrant marketplace for luxury apparel, bridging the gap between brands and global customers. With a significant influx of venture capital, they embarked on an ambitious journey to construct a visually engaging website. This digital storefront aimed to provide an immersive shopping experience, incorporating elaborate graphics and advanced features. The founders relied on cutting-edge technology, navigating uncharted territory in e-commerce. Early marketing efforts created a buzz, drawing in attention from both consumers and industry experts. Yet initial enthusiasm masked underlying challenges. The complex website, while visually striking, often proved difficult to navigate. Loading times became an issue, and many potential customers encountered frustration rather than enjoyment. Operations expanded rapidly, with the founders investing heavily in logistics and inventory. Such swift growth taxed resources, and soon the financial strain became evident. Despite the initial optimism, the foundation of this venture began to reveal cracks. The ambitions that once inspired Boo.com now seemed out of reach, foreshadowing the eventual decline of this once promising digital retailer. The e-commerce landscape of the late 1990s was characterized by rapid evolution and an air of uncertainty. Many companies emerged, driven by the potential of the internet to reshape retail. This period witnessed a surge in online shopping platforms, each vying for consumer attention in an increasingly crowded marketplace. Market dynamics shifted swiftly, influenced by consumer behavior, technological advancements, and aggressive marketing strategies. Startups flourished, often fueled by venture capital and lofty expectations. It was a time marked by optimism, with the internet perceived as a limitless frontier. Traditional retailers began to explore digital avenues, while pure-play e-commerce companies like Boo.com positioned themselves as pioneers in the field. Their innovative approaches, however, were often hampered by technical limitations and a lack of understanding of their target audience. User experience was a critical factor during this transformative era. Many sites struggled to create intuitive interfaces, leading to frustration among potential customers. Boo.com, in its pursuit of a unique shopping experience, implemented complex features that, while ambitious, alienated users unfamiliar with online shopping. The disconnect between aspiration and execution became increasingly evident as the market matured. Among the established players, competition intensified, revealing the challenges of sustaining growth in a volatile environment. In this context, the promise of e-commerce began to feel more like an elusive dream than a concrete reality. A substantial initial investment fueled the ambitions of Boo.com. Investors were drawn to the allure of a burgeoning online retail landscape, entrusting vast sums of capital to the venture. They believed in the potential of a digital storefront that could revolutionize the fashion industry. This backing was significant, amounting to over $130 million from venture capital firms, which created an expansive runway for development and marketing. Yet the heavy financial inflow also hastened expectations. The urgency to demonstrate growth and capture market share led to rapid expansion plans, often outpacing the practical realities of technological infrastructure. The website, envisioned as an immersive shopping experience, was laden with features that demanded high bandwidth and sophisticated technology. This ambition, however, came at a cost. The extravagant spending on advertising campaigns and flashy marketing initiatives drained resources quickly. Customer service, a critical component in online retail success, became secondary to the pursuit of innovation. As operational expenses mounted, the company struggled to balance its ambitious vision with the harsh realities of maintaining a sustainable business model. The financial backing that once inspired hope became a double-edged sword, as the pressure to perform intensified amid rising operational challenges. The balance of investment and practicality shifted, setting the stage for an inevitable decline. The ambitious business model of this online fashion retailing venture was envisioned as a revolutionary approach, aiming to blend cutting-edge technology with high-end consumer products. It sought to provide an immersive shopping experience, characterized by bold designs and a comprehensive selection of luxury items. This approach attracted significant attention and investment, underlining the potential of digital platforms in reshaping consumer behavior. The site featured elaborate graphics, unique animations, and a multitude of products, showcasing a vibrant yet overwhelming interface. This ambitious design was intended to entice customers and elevate the online shopping experience. As it launched, the expectations were high, reflecting a belief in the transformative power of technology in retail. The founders envisioned a global marketplace, one that would break down geographical barriers and connect fashion enthusiasts across continents. Despite its initial allure, practical challenges began to surface. The complexity of the website often led to navigation difficulties, frustrating potential customers. Loading times proved to be a significant hindrance, detracting from the shopping experience. Moreover, the high operational costs associated with maintaining such an extravagant online presence soon became unsustainable. This combination of grand aspirations and operational shortcomings marked the beginning of a gradual unraveling as the gap between ambition and reality widened. The core customer base was envisioned as a young, affluent demographic eager to embrace the latest fashion trends through digital means. This region, characterized by a burgeoning interest in online shopping, appeared ripe for the taking. The founders sought to capture the attention of tech-savvy consumers who valued both style and convenience. Marketing strategies were meticulously developed, targeting urban centers where disposable income and digital familiarity converged. It was imperative that this audience perceived Bookom as a pioneer, a leader in online fashion retail. Yet, the company struggled to translate its high-concept vision into an appealing user experience. Targeting the elusive millennial consumer proved problematic. Complicated website navigation, heavy graphics, and slow loading times created barriers when attempting to engage this audience. Despite the efforts to present a chic and innovative platform, many visitors left frustrated, unable to easily access products. The disconnect between the intended customer experience and the actual offering became increasingly apparent. Those who were once intrigued by the promise of an online fashion haven found themselves disillusioned. A significant portion of the desired demographic quickly turned to competitors, seeking more user-friendly alternatives. The initial allure faded, leaving behind the remnants of what could have been a thriving digital marketplace. The ambition of Bookom was underscored by its adoption of cutting-edge innovations. This vision encompassed a complex website designed with advanced graphics and multimedia elements, aiming to provide an immersive shopping experience. The integration of virtual models and three-dimensional displays was intended to bridge the gap between traditional retail and the emerging online marketplace. Such technology was revolutionary for its time, evoking excitement among early adopters drawn to this new digital frontier. Unfortunately, the very advancements that marked its potential also contributed significantly to its downfall. The intricate design, often laden with features that demanded high bandwidth, presented significant accessibility issues. Many potential customers struggled to navigate the site, hindered by slow loading times and compatibility challenges with their devices. This region of the internet, still in its infancy, was not universally equipped to handle the demands of Bookom's ambitious architecture. The disconnect between vision and execution became increasingly evident. While the concept of a technologically advanced shopping platform was appealing, the reality was that many users found it frustrating. Limited user engagement translated into dwindling sales. As the company burned through its funding, the innovations that initially set it apart transformed into barriers that isolated it from the very audience it sought to captivate. This dissonance marked a poignant moment in the evolution of online retail. Visuals and interactivity became cornerstones of its approach, reflecting a belief that an engaging user experience would capture the attention of a burgeoning online audience. High-quality images showcased products, while flashy graphics aimed to create an immersive shopping journey. The intention was to transform clothing purchases into a captivating experience, not merely a transactional process. Navigation, however, often proved cumbersome. Elements intended to enhance engagement instead led to confusion. users encountered a site where the stimulating visuals sometimes overshadowed practicality. The ambitious integration of features, such as virtual fitting rooms and animated showcases, created a sense of novelty, but also added layers of complexity. This region of the internet saw many users grappling with frustrations rather than delight. Loading times became a frequent complaint. The heavy reliance on graphics meant that many potential customers left before even seeing the offerings. Engagement metrics, once promising, began to reflect a worrying trend. Expectations had been set high, yet the reality was marred by technical shortcomings. In a landscape where user experience was paramount, it became clear that the delicate balance between aesthetics and functionality had tipped unfavorably. The allure of a visually stunning platform faded as users sought efficiency and ease of use, leaving behind a fading company struggling to adapt to its missteps. The marketplace continued to evolve, leaving it behind in the wake of progress. The development of the Boo.com website represented a considerable technological feat. Launched in November 1998, it sought to redefine online shopping experiences. This ambitious platform featured vibrant graphics, intricate animations, and a three-dimensional virtual store environment. The vision was to create a luxurious space that echoed the high-end fashion it aimed to sell. Yet the execution faltered. The elaborate design, while innovative, presented significant user difficulties. Slow loading times plagued the browsing experience, compounded by the platform's reliance on high-bandwidth connections that were not widely accessible. Many potential customers found themselves frustrated, unable to navigate the site efficiently. This region, characterized by a burgeoning internet culture, was not yet prepared for such complexity. The average consumer's technology was often inadequate to handle the site's demands, and compatibility issues with various web browsers exacerbated the situation. Investing heavily in marketing campaigns, the company hoped to draw traffic, yet the allure of the virtual storefront did not translate into sales. Instead, it became evident that the platform's technological sophistication was out of step with the user experience. In this rapidly evolving landscape, the disconnect between ambition and practicality contributed significantly to its decline. The ensuing chaos surrounding Boo.com would serve as a cautionary tale for future ventures in the digital marketplace. Marketing efforts utilized by the fading company were ambitious, yet fundamentally flawed. Online promotion strategies included aggressive banner advertisements and an early adoption of affiliate marketing. They sought to create a brand presence in the digital landscape, targeting a youthful demographic eager for trendy fashion. Social media platforms were emerging, yet the company failed to leverage these tools effectively, focusing instead on traditional online marketing that lacked engagement. Offline tactics involved extravagant launch events in major cities, featuring celebrity endorsements and lavish parties. These events aimed to generate buzz and attract media attention, yet they often overshadowed the core product offerings. Significant resources were allocated to these promotional efforts, drawing attention away from the website's user experience. In a bid to establish itself as a luxury brand, the company emphasized exclusivity but neglected accessibility. This created a disconnect between the intended consumer base and the actual user experience. The website's complex interface and high bandwidth requirements proved detrimental, alienating potential customers who encountered frustration rather than intrigue. The disjointed marketing approach reflected an overall misalignment with the evolving e-commerce landscape. With a focus on grandeur rather than functionality, the company became a case study in the importance of cohesive strategy. As the dust settled, the lessons learned would resonate through future digital endeavors. The launch of Bucom in the late 1990s marked a significant moment in the annals of online retail. With a vision to revolutionize the fashion industry, it aimed to create an immersive shopping experience. Initial public reception was characterized by a blend of excitement and skepticism. Investors flocked to its offerings, drawn by innovative technology and high-profile marketing campaigns. Early reports suggested an exhilarating potential, capturing the imagination of both consumers and industry experts. This enthusiasm, however, was met with considerable challenges. The website's ambitious graphics and complex navigation systems often overwhelmed visitors, leading to high bounce rates. User feedback highlighted frustrations with loading times and usability, signaling a disconnect between ambition and practicality. Despite a promising start, it struggled to maintain momentum as technical issues compounded. Financial projections that once seemed attainable began to falter. Initial sales figures, although impressive, did not sustain growth, revealing an underlying fragility in the business model. The allure of Bucom gradually began to wane as the stark realities of consumer behavior came to the forefront. While it had captured the zeitgeist of digital shopping, many were left questioning the sustainability of such opulence in an evolving online marketplace. The allure of innovation was met with the harshness of operational missteps, leading to a gradual unraveling of its initial promise. Initial sales performance reflected a promising start for the online fashion e-commerce store. Within its first few months, it garnered attention and a surge of interest, quickly amassing a user base drawn to its bold vision. The allure of cutting-edge technology, such as virtual fitting rooms and high-quality visuals, attracted a demographic eager to embrace the future of shopping. Sales figures indicated significant potential, with revenue projections soaring into the millions. Early metrics showcased a steady influx of orders, suggesting that the concept resonated with a consumer base hungry for innovation. The website experienced bursts of traffic, and the marketing campaigns yielded impressive click-through rates. This early success painted a picture of a thriving business poised for growth. Yet, as time unfolded, complications began to emerge beneath the surface of those initial metrics. High customer acquisition costs weighed heavily on profitability, while logistical challenges hampered fulfillment and delivery processes. The ambitious approach to inventory management often resulted in stock shortages or excess, leading to further strain on resources. Customer feedback highlighted issues with usability, raising questions about the sustainability of those early triumphs. The early excitement. The early excitement surrounding the launch of Bucom was situated within a burgeoning digital landscape. Investors, drawn by the promise of the internet, poured significant capital into online ventures, often with little regard for traditional business metrics. This enthusiasm created a volatile environment where inflated valuations thrived alongside unrealistic consumer expectations. The atmosphere became charged with the belief that any online business could yield exponential returns. Consequently, Bucom was able to secure substantial financial backing, enabling it to adopt an ambitious strategy. Lavish marketing campaigns and an expansive product range characterized its initial approach, Yet this was underpinned by a fragile foundation. The rapid influx of cash allowed for extravagant spending, but it also fostered a disconnect from sustainable business practices. As the internet bubble began to deflate, scrutiny intensified. Investors grew wary of high burn rates and questioned the viability of companies that had once seemed untouchable. Bookom's complex website, laden with graphics and features. Design flaws became evident as users attempted to navigate the intricate interface. Many found the experience disorienting, with an overwhelming array of graphics that detracted from usability. The innovative concept of a three-dimensional shopping environment, intended to enhance engagement, instead rendered tasks cumbersome. Visitors often struggled to locate basic functions, leading to frustration and abandonment. These challenges were compounded by slow loading times, a consequence of the heavy visual elements. Users, accustomed to efficiency, faced delays that turned what should have been an enjoyable experience into a tedious ordeal. While the ambition to create an immersive online store was commendable, the execution fell short. Simple transactions became laborious, driving potential customers away. Market research indicated that simplicity is paramount in e-commerce. The inclination to adopt cutting-edge technology had overshadowed this principle. Instead of facilitating shopping, the design became a barrier, alienating users who sought convenience. As feedback accumulated, it became increasingly clear that the approach did not resonate with the target audience. Competitors with streamlined interfaces began to capture market share, illustrating the importance of user-centered design. In an industry that thrives on accessibility, Bookom's inability to address these fundamental issues. The impact on user experience became increasingly pronounced as high-speed internet connections proliferated. This evolution in technology created a stark contrast against the legacy of dial-up connections, which many users still encountered. The slow, cumbersome nature of dial-up was at odds with the dynamic, visual demands of an online fashion platform. The frustration of prolonged loading times contributed significantly to user dissatisfaction. With the rise of broadband, expectations shifted. Users sought seamless navigation and instantaneous access to content, aspects that Bookom struggled to deliver. The complex graphics and high-resolution images, intended to entice, instead burdened those on slower connections. This design choice alienated a substantial portion of the potential customer base. In this environment, the slow loading times acted as a barrier, discouraging users from returning. An online shopping experience should be engaging, yet the reality of Bookom was often marked by delays and interruptions. The inability to adapt to the needs of a diverse audience reflected a fundamental miscalculation in strategy. User experience, once a burgeoning priority for e-commerce, became a decisive factor in the trajectory of Bookom. While competitors embraced the rapid advancements in technology, this fading company remained ensnared in a web of outdated practices. Global expansion plans took shape as Bookom sought to extend its reach beyond the confines of its home market. Executives envisioned a brand that transcended borders, positioning it as a global leader in fashion e-commerce. Launching in diverse markets, they aimed to capture the imaginations of consumers across continents. Ambitions swelled with aspirations of becoming a household name. These endeavors involved significant investments in localized marketing strategies and distribution networks. Efforts to adapt the website to multiple languages and currencies were initiated, underscoring a commitment to accessibility. Despite these intentions, challenges loomed large. The infrastructure required to support such a vast operation fell short, plagued by logistical hurdles in unfamiliar territories. The technology employed often faltered under the strain of high traffic, leading to an inconsistent user experience. As the company stretched itself thin across various regions, the complexity of operations increased dramatically. Disparate strategies failed to coalesce into a unified vision, resulting in confusion among potential customers. Financial resources dwindled as operational costs escalated, creating a significant burden. The ambitious international campaign, once a beacon of hope, transformed into a series of missteps. This pattern of overreach. The iconic virtual fashion show marked a significant marketing highlight for the Fading Company. Launched in 1999, it aimed to showcase their offerings in a groundbreaking, interactive format. This ambitious event drew considerable attention, combining high-fashion aesthetics with cutting-edge technology. Viewers were invited to experience a spectacle that seemed to redefine the boundaries of online retail. Models adorned in the latest trends paraded through a digital runway, presenting garments in a stunning virtual environment. The technical execution, while innovative, faced challenges. Many participants encountered issues with connectivity, leading to frustration and a diluted experience. Acceptance of this new format was tempered by the limitations of technology at that time, hindering consumer engagement. Despite the initial excitement, the virtual fashion show did not translate into the anticipated surge in sales. The allure of the innovative experience quickly faded, leaving behind a sense of disillusionment. This ambitious venture, while emblematic of the company's forward-thinking approach, became a glaring example of misaligned expectations. As the e-commerce landscape evolved, the allure of the fashion show dwindled. The initial buzz transformed into a haunting reminder of ambition unfulfilled. What was once seen as a pioneering moment became part of a broader narrative, illustrating the challenges faced by the Fading Company in a rapidly changing market. Disruptions in supply chain management emerged as critical obstacles during the company's brief existence. Inefficiencies in inventory control became apparent early on, leading to a misalignment between customer demand and product availability. With the rapid pace of online consumerism, it struggled to maintain a consistent flow of goods, resulting in frequent stock shortages and delays. Logistical complications compounded these issues, as distribution networks were often unable to keep pace with the ambitious growth targets set by the company. Shipping delays became commonplace, frustrating potential customers and undermining trust. This region, initially buzzing with the excitement of technological innovation, gradually revealed the stark limitations of its operational strategies. Warehousing practices were insufficient to handle the complex inventory needs of a diverse product line. The reliance on third-party logistics providers, while intended to streamline operations. In a landscape that demanded agility and responsiveness, this Fading Company found itself increasingly out of step with market dynamics. As competitors adapted, the gaps widened, reflecting the broader challenges that plagued its operational framework. The vision of a thriving e-commerce platform began to fade, overshadowed by the realities of supply chain mismanagement. The approach to client relations proved to be another critical misstep. Initially, the ambition was to create a highly interactive shopping experience, one that would foster loyalty through personalized service. Extensive investments in customer support infrastructure aimed to ensure that every query was met with prompt attention. However, the execution fell short of expectations. Representatives, overwhelmed by the volume of inquiries, struggled to maintain the promised level of service. This disconnect between aspiration and reality became apparent as customers encountered long response times and unresolved issues. The technology intended to enhance communication instead became a barrier, leading to frustration among users. In an attempt to innovate, the company embraced a complex system of live chat support and virtual consultations. These features, while initially appealing, added layers of confusion rather than clarity. Many found themselves navigating a convoluted web of options, often leading to dissatisfaction. As customer feedback accumulated, it became clear that the gap between the brand's image and actual experience was widening. Trust eroded with each negative interaction, and a sense of disillusionment permeated this once promising platform. The commitment to excellence in client relations that had been envisioned slowly deteriorated, leaving a void where loyalty and satisfaction should have flourished. The allure of celebrity endorsements and influencer marketing initially drew attention to this failing enterprise. High-profile figures were enlisted, featuring prominently in promotional campaigns designed to capture the imagination of a burgeoning online consumer base. Their glamorous images graced the website, intended to evoke a sense of aspiration and trendsetting. This tactic, however, soon revealed its shortcomings. As the digital landscape evolved, the disconnect between the glitzy representations and the actual consumer experience became starkly apparent. Prominent figures, once invaluable assets, began to symbolize a facade rather than a bridge to authentic engagement. The over-reliance on celebrity culture created an illusion that overshadowed the essential elements of trust and reliability. With time, the gloss of fame faded, revealing an underlying vulnerability. The audience, once captivated by the charm of the stars, grew disillusioned. A lack of genuine connection replaced the initial excitement, leading to a disheartening exodus of potential customers. Influencer partnerships, initially deemed a pioneering strategy, faltered as the message became diluted. This region of the market demanded substance over style, yet that nuance eluded the fading company. The ambition to leverage celebrity power, rather than cultivating genuine relationships with consumers, contributed significantly to the unraveling of this promising venture. Initial reviews reflected a blend of excitement and skepticism. Early adopters of the platform, eager to embrace this new online shopping experience, were met with a website that, despite its sleek design, proved to be cumbersome and difficult to navigate. User feedback highlighted significant frustrations with slow loading times and a confusing interface. This technological inadequacy starkly contrasted with the stylish branding that had promised a revolutionary shopping experience. Criticism grew as customers encountered issues with the checkout process. Many reported abandoned carts due to a lack of clarity regarding shipping costs and product availability. The site's ambition to showcase a wide array of high-end fashion items often resulted in broken links and incomplete product listings, further eroding consumer trust. The discontent was palpable, and forums lit up with complaints, echoing sentiments of disillusionment. This region of online retail, once seen as a beacon of innovation, began to show signs of distress. Influencers who had initially endorsed the venture turned their backs, voicing concerns over its functionality. The disconnect between the marketing promises and the user experience became increasingly evident. As the initial excitement waned, the backlash intensified, marking a turning point in the public perception of this once promising platform. Negative reviews became a hallmark of its decline, encapsulating the growing discontent among a disillusioned consumer base. Technical limitations plagued the online platform, severely impacting user experience and further alienating potential customers. During its peak, the website was ambitious, showcasing an array of cutting-edge features intended to captivate a digital audience. However, these innovations demanded significant bandwidth and processing power, often beyond the capabilities of the average user's connection at that time. The result was a frustratingly slow load time that deterred many from completing their purchases. Users encountered endless buffering screens and disrupted navigation, leading to abandoned shopping carts and lost sales opportunities. Frustration rippled through the community as the excitement surrounding the brand quickly dissipated into disappointment. In this region, the technological infrastructure of the late 1990s struggled to support such an advanced e-commerce model. Many competitors adopted simpler designs, ensuring faster access and a more seamless shopping experience. This comparative advantage left the troubled company in a precarious position, unable to retain its initial audience. Investment in platform optimization was insufficient, as the focus on extravagant visuals overshadowed the necessity for basic functionality. As the slow-loading site became synonymous with the brand, it illustrated a critical miscalculation in understanding consumer needs in an evolving digital landscape. Each passing month saw dwindling traffic and mounting criticism, marking the inevitable unraveling of what was once a promising venture. Investment in technology and marketing surged at an alarming rate, creating an unsustainable financial trajectory. A lavish approach to branding led to extravagant expenditures, with eye-catching advertisements saturating media platforms. The allure of high fashion and cutting-edge web design came at a steep cost, as resources were allocated disproportionately toward image rather than infrastructure. This region of e-commerce, once a beacon of innovation, began to show signs of strain. The financial burn rate escalated, revealing a troubling pattern of overspending. Promises of rapid growth drove decisions that prioritized immediate market presence over long-term viability. This created a cycle where funds were rapidly consumed, yet revenue failed to keep pace. Investors, initially drawn to the promise of disruptive change, began to express concerns. Each report of underperformance cast a longer shadow on the already tenuous grasp of financial health. Operational challenges multiplied as the company struggled to manage its ambitious ambitions. The complexity of inventory management and logistical execution further strained resources, compounding the effects of excessive spending. As operational inefficiencies became apparent, the once vibrant dream of a new retail frontier transformed into a cautionary tale of ambition unchecked. The promise of the digital marketplace faded, leaving behind echoes of what could have been, a haunting reminder of a vision that lost its way amid the relentless pursuit of growth. Staff expansion occurred rapidly, driven by an unyielding belief in the potential of the online fashion landscape. A surge of new hires flooded the organization, as executives sought to fill positions with talent deemed essential for navigating this uncharted territory. Recruitment campaigns promised an innovative corporate culture, one where creativity and technology would intertwine seamlessly. This influx of personnel, however, created an environment rife with confusion and misalignment. Diverse teams formed, each with varying degrees of experience and understanding of the burgeoning e-commerce sector. Communication faltered amidst the chaos, leading to silos that stifled collaboration. The initial enthusiasm began to dissipate as employees grappled with unclear objectives, struggling to adapt to an ever-shifting landscape. The ambition to establish a vibrant corporate culture soon gave way to a more transactional atmosphere. Job titles multiplied, yet the shared vision once touted diminished. A disconnect arose between upper management and the workforce, with directives often perceived as out of touch with the realities faced on the ground. As the strain intensified, turnover increased, leading to a cycle of hiring and attrition that further destabilized the organization. The once promising workforce, intended to propel the company forward, became a microcosm of the failures that plagued the enterprise, mirroring the broader decline that would. International launches represented a critical strategy for expanding into different markets, yet they quickly unveiled the fundamental vulnerabilities of the business model. Initial attempts to penetrate European and American markets were met with a surge of enthusiasm, accompanied by significant financial investment. The promise of a global audience seemed within reach, bolstered by a marketing campaign that emphasized cutting-edge technology and the allure of luxury fashion. Local adaptations were necessary. Different cultures exhibited varied shopping behaviors and preferences, yet the response from management lacked the necessary insight. An insistence on uniformity across regions led to misaligned product offerings and marketing messages that resonated poorly with target demographics. The technology, initially heralded as revolutionary, often faltered under the weight of cross-border logistics and customer service demands. This disconnect fostered a growing discontent among newly acquired customers who expected seamless experiences. The ambitious expansion strategy, rather than solidifying the company's presence, instead highlighted its operational weaknesses. Support systems struggled to cope with the volume of inquiries, while shipping delays emerged as a persistent issue. Over time, disillusionment set in, as the allure of a global brand diminished against the backdrop of unmet expectations and increasingly vocal criticism. The international launches, rather than heralding a new era of growth, instead reinforced the declining trajectory of a beleaguered enterprise. The influx of venture capital served as both a lifeline and a double-edged sword. Substantial investments poured in, fueled by lofty expectations and an unyielding belief in the potential of e-commerce. These funds were intended to accelerate growth, enhance technology, and expand market reach. Instead, they often exacerbated inefficiencies. The pressure to deliver rapid returns led to hasty decisions, prioritizing short-term gains over sustainable strategies. This reliance on external funding created a disconnect between the operational realities of the company and the aspirations of its investors. Promises of market dominance were met with mounting dissatisfaction as reality unfolded. The relentless pursuit of expansion strained resources, resulting in misallocated budgets and an inability to adapt to changing consumer preferences. The lavish spending on marketing campaigns and extravagant events did not translate into lasting customer loyalty or robust revenue streams. Instead, it contributed to a culture of excess that overshadowed the fundamental principles of sound business management. The expectations set by the venture capital community became an anchor, weighing down the organization as it struggled to navigate an increasingly competitive landscape. In this environment, the gap widened between aspiration and execution. Competitors emerged not only as immediate threats, but also as benchmarks for success. Established companies demonstrated the viability of online fashion retail, offering well-curated selections and streamlined user experiences. This region saw the growth of platforms that prioritized functionality over flamboyance. Rivals adapted to consumer expectations, focusing on simplicity and efficiency rather than extravagant design. The rise of these alternative players revealed critical missteps in the business strategy of the fading company. While competitors invested in user-friendly interfaces and effective supply chain management, this online fashion store struggled with excessive complexity and an unwieldy website. The allure of innovative features, such as virtual fitting rooms, left users frustrated rather than impressed. Feedback mechanisms were underdeveloped, preventing timely adjustments to consumer preferences. Other e-commerce giants capitalized on social media to enhance brand visibility and foster community engagement. This approach cultivated loyalty among consumers, contrasting sharply with the company's detached marketing strategies. Brands that prioritized customer relationships flourished, creating a sense of belonging that proved vital in an increasingly competitive market. Stock prices of rivals surged as their sales figures reflected growth and adaptability. In stark contrast, the once promising venture floundered under the weight of its own ambitions. The competitive landscape, characterized by agility and innovation, continued to evolve, leaving behind a fading memory of the brand's initial promise. The dot-com crash profoundly impacted the operational viability of Boo.com. Investor confidence plummeted, turning the once thriving e-commerce environment into a battleground of uncertainty. The brand's ambitious model, which relied on rapid growth and high visibility, began to crumble under the weight of dwindling financial support. This region, once buzzing with entrepreneurial energy, felt the chill of skepticism and retreat. Amidst the turmoil, Boo.com's lavish spending on marketing and technology became increasingly unsustainable. The website's complex design, meant to captivate consumers, instead alienated them. Load times stretched and user experience faltered, creating a disconnect between the brand and its audience. The once promising vision of revolutionizing online shopping deteriorated into a cautionary tale of hubris. With the economic environment shifting, funding sources evaporated, leading to drastic measures. Staff reductions and operational cutbacks became necessary as revenue streams failed to materialize. This decline in morale was palpable among employees, who witnessed the unraveling of their collective dream. The original allure of Boo.com faded, replaced by an atmosphere of resignation and uncertainty. As the digital landscape shifted, the remnants of the brand struggled to adapt. The vision of an iconic online fashion destination gave way to the harsh reality of a market that demanded resilience and adaptability, qualities that increasingly eluded this once promising venture. The inability to pivot strategy became increasingly evident as market dynamics shifted. This once vibrant entity clung to its initial vision, overlooking the necessity for flexibility. In an era characterized by rapid technological advancements and evolving consumer preferences, this steadfast adherence to a singular approach proved detrimental. The digital landscape demanded a nimble response, yet the decision-makers remained ensnared in a rigid framework, prioritizing grandiosity over practicality. efforts to enhance user experience fell short, as the elaborate website design complicated navigation rather than facilitating it. This failure to embrace simplicity alienated potential customers who sought efficiency in their online shopping journeys. Financial resources, once ample, began to dwindle as operational costs escalated without corresponding revenue growth. Investments poured into high-profile marketing campaigns failed to yield the anticipated return. The relentless pursuit of a luxurious brand image overshadowed essential operational adjustments, resulting in a widening chasm between expectation and reality. Competitors possessing a more adaptable mindset seized opportunities to capture market share. They embraced a focus on customer feedback and streamlined operations, positioning themselves favorably in a landscape that favored agility. Each missed opportunity to recalibrate further entrenched this fading company in its demise, as the inability to adjust to an evolving environment solidified its trajectory toward failure. Marketing expenses accumulated rapidly, a reflection of ambition that, in an attempt to capture the attention of a discerning audience, extravagant ads adorned prestigious publications, while high-profile endorsements sought to validate its offerings. These ventures generated fleeting buzz, but the returns remained elusive. The disconnect between soaring expenditures and stagnant sales figures began to emerge, illustrating the chasm between aspiration and achievement. Costly initiatives overshadowed critical operational needs, with the allure of immediate visibility taking precedence over long-term sustainability. The allure of rapid growth diluted focus, leading to a misallocation of capital that could have been invested more judiciously. As the financial strain became apparent, the repercussions rippled through the organization. Morale dwindled among employees, who bore witness to a vision that could not manifest. This environment stifled innovation, leaving little room for the adaptive strategies that might have reversed the decline. The once vibrant aspirations dwindled alongside the dwindling resources, marking a poignant chapter in the chronicle of this online fashion store. A lack of effective customer retention strategies contributed significantly to this online fashion store's decline. Initial attempts to engage consumers featured grand promises of a revolutionary shopping experience, yet the execution fell short. Customers encountered a labyrinthine website that prioritized aesthetics over functionality. This digital space became an obstacle rather than a facilitator of interaction, causing frustration among potential buyers. Promotional efforts aimed at re-engaging customers relied heavily on discounts and flashy advertisements. The approach lacked any meaningful connection to the brand's identity. As the allure of novelty faded, consumers found little reason to return. The absence of personalized communication further alienated them. Emails and notifications became generic, failing to resonate with individual preferences or shopping behaviors. Despite investments in flashy marketing campaigns, the basic tenets of customer relationship management went neglected. Surveys and feedback mechanisms were either underutilized or ignored entirely, leading to a disconnect between what the customers desired and what was offered. This gap widened over time as loyal patrons drifted away to competitors who prioritized genuine engagement. The strategy to cultivate a loyal customer base faltered, illustrating a fundamental misunderstanding of the evolving landscape of e-commerce. As brand enthusiasm waned, so too did the likelihood of rekindling interest, solidifying the trajectory toward decline. Product curation presented a significant challenge. as the online fashion retailer struggled to align its offerings with shifting consumer preferences. Initially, the ambition was to provide a comprehensive and diverse range of clothing, accessories, and footwear, appealing to a broad demographic. This approach, however, inadvertently led to an overwhelming selection that diluted brand identity. Fashion trends shifted rapidly, and the inability to adapt swiftly left the retailer vulnerable. An extensive inventory often meant that many items became outdated before they even reached the consumer. The lack of a clear focus on core product lines caused confusion among potential shoppers, who were met with a muddled assortment rather than a cohesive collection. In this environment, the pressure to stand out in a saturated market grew. Competitors with sharper, curated selections began to capture the attention of consumers, drawing them away from the once promising platform. Visibility declined as the retailer struggled to communicate its unique value proposition effectively. The challenges of inventory management compounded the issue, leading to excess stock and financial strain. Seasonal changes introduced additional complications, as new collections failed to resonate with a disenchanted audience. This misalignment between product range and consumer demand became an insurmountable barrier, accelerating the company's decline. Partnerships with suppliers and brands proved to be another critical point of failure. The ambitious vision of a global online fashion retailer required collaborations with multiple stakeholders. However, the complexities of these relationships revealed significant weaknesses. Initial agreements often lacked clarity, leading to misunderstandings regarding product availability and quality. As expectations rose, suppliers struggled to meet the demands of such a rapidly evolving platform. This region, once vibrant with potential, witnessed a series of miscommunications that exacerbated existing tensions. Brands, attracted by the promise of exposure, found their products showcased without adequate representation. The disconnect between the platform's aggressive marketing strategies and the realities of inventory management created a chasm that could not easily be bridged. Consequently, the inability to maintain consistent stock levels resulted in customer dissatisfaction. Shoppers encountered disappointment when desired items were frequently out of reach. This recurring scenario eroded trust as consumers gravitated toward more reliable competitors. Over time, suppliers became hesitant to engage with the fading company. The lack of a coherent strategy alienated potential partners who were unwilling to invest in a platform plagued by instability. The ripple effect of these partnership failures underscored the fragility of a business model that relied heavily on collaboration. Seasonality played a pivotal role in the trajectory of Bucom, influencing revenue streams and customer engagement. The fashion retail sector typically experiences pronounced fluctuations throughout the year, with demand peaking during key seasons such as the holiday period and summer months. This cyclical nature established a rhythm that the fading company struggled to navigate effectively. Inventory management became increasingly complex as seasonal trends shifted, often leading to overstocked items that failed to resonate with consumers. The inability to adapt to these changes resulted in significant financial losses and a misalignment with market expectations. Seasonal promotions and marketing campaigns, which traditionally invigorate sales, fell flat in the absence of a well-defined strategy. Consumer behavior evolved, with shoppers increasingly seeking immediate gratification and seamless purchasing experiences. The slow-loading website and cumbersome navigation further exacerbated the situation, alienating potential customers during critical sales periods. As trends in fashion shifted rapidly, Bookom found itself unable to keep pace with the dynamic market. The reliance on outdated and ineffective marketing tactics further deepened the decline as competitors embraced innovation and agility. Each passing season highlighted the disconnect between consumer desires and the company's offerings. The media's gaze turned sharply toward this fading company, amplifying the narrative surrounding its struggles. Coverage often painted a picture of opulence and ambition, juxtaposed with the stark realities of financial shortfalls and operational missteps. The lavish launch events, extravagant marketing campaigns, and high-profile endorsements generated considerable buzz, yet this attention would soon morph into scrutiny as the initial excitement waned. Critics began to dissect the perceived excesses, questioning the sustainability of its business model. Articles highlighted the technological challenges that hindered the user experience, revealing a site that often faltered under the weight of its own aspirations. Consumers found themselves confronted with a labyrinthine shopping experience, characterized by slow loading times and confusing navigation. These frustrations did not go unnoticed. Public sentiment shifted as dissatisfaction spread. The media seized upon these stories, framing Bookom as a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition in the digital marketplace. Reports of mounting losses and a dwindling customer base formed a narrative of inevitable decline. This portrayal, coupled with the company's failure to adapt to the evolving landscape of online shopping, solidified its reputation as a symbol of excess and miscalculation. Investors grew wary, and the once promising venture seemed increasingly trapped within its own elaborate facade. Technological overreach became evident as the platform introduced a multitude of features designed to enhance the online shopping experience. These included innovative virtual fitting rooms and complex navigation systems, each intended to showcase the latest advancements in e-commerce. Instead of simplifying the process, it compounded the confusion for users. Many potential customers found themselves lost within a labyrinth of options, unable to complete simple transactions. The high-quality graphics and intricate design elements, once hailed as cutting-edge, began to weigh heavily on the loading times, frustrating users further. This region became a digital landscape where speed and usability were sacrificed at the altar of ambition. Feedback from early adopters revealed a growing discontent. The interactive features, which intended to engage and delight, instead led to a sense of overwhelm. Users expressed dissatisfaction with the inability to easily locate items, while frequent crashes added to the mounting frustration. As the allure of innovation faded, the reality of a cumbersome interface settled in. Competitors with simpler, more user-friendly designs continued to thrive, drawing away the disillusioned crowd. The once coveted platform, now viewed as a complex puzzle rather than a shopping destination, struggled to retain its audience. These shortcomings exemplified the peril of pursuing technological prowess without considering the fundamental needs of the consumer. The reliance on A/B testing as a primary method of user feedback led to a misalignment between consumer preferences and the brand's offerings. While the intention behind A/B testing was to refine the user experience through data-driven decisions, the execution lacked depth. Simple metrics guided these assessments, neglecting the complex emotional and behavioral aspects of online shopping. Feedback loops became ineffective, often resulting in superficial changes rather than addressing core issues. Users, confronted with a clunky interface and slow loading times, were not adequately represented in the test results. Their dissatisfaction was visible, but often dismissed in favor of quantitative data that suggested otherwise. In this environment, a disconnect grew. What was perceived as progress was, in reality, a further entrenchment in a flawed model. The inability to adapt to user needs mirrored the broader struggles of the fading company. Stakeholders became increasingly frustrated as the online platform failed to resonate with a target audience that had begun to seek alternatives. This disconnect was not merely a reflection of changing trends. It indicated a fundamental misunderstanding of the market dynamics at play. As user engagement dwindled, the reliance on ineffective feedback mechanisms became glaringly apparent. Budgetary issues surfaced as a prominent factor contributing to the decline. Initial funding of over $100 million created an illusion of stability, yet misallocations soon emerged as a critical concern. These resources, intended to bolster technology and marketing, were diverted into extravagant office spaces and lavish employee perks. This misalignment eroded the foundation necessary for sustainable growth. Operational costs escalated uncontrollably. The high expenditure on a complex website, coupled with a poor user experience, resulted in diminishing returns. Despite the initial vision of an innovative online retail platform, the failure to streamline operations led to a staggering deficit. As inventory costs accumulated, the inability to adapt to changing consumer preferences intensified the financial strain. In this region, the lack of strategic foresight became evident. Executives focused on rapid expansion rather than solidifying a viable business model. Their decisions, influenced more by ambition than practicality, created a disconnect between revenue expectations and reality. The pressure to maintain an image of success compelled them to pursue marketing strategies that yielded little return on investment. With financial mismanagement at the forefront, this failing company exemplified the pitfalls of excessive optimism. The trajectory was set towards an inevitable collapse where misjudgments and overconfidence. The impact of currency fluctuations extended beyond mere profitability, affecting the very foundation of operational stability. Engaging in a global market, it encountered significant challenges as exchange rates shifted unpredictably. This led to increased costs in various regions, straining financial resources and complicating pricing strategies. The reliance on different currencies created a labyrinth of financial calculations, with each transaction carrying potential risks that could undermine pricing integrity. These fluctuations not only eroded profit margins, but also influenced customer perceptions and purchasing behaviors. In regions where currency value diminished, purchasing power diminished correspondingly. This resulted in diminished sales figures, as consumers hesitated to buy from an international retailer when local alternatives appeared more financially feasible. It became clear that the global landscape was unforgiving. Every rise and fall of currency value reverberated through the company's financial health. Supplier relationships also began to fray under these conditions. Vendors, facing their own currency challenges, demanded adjustments to contracts and pricing, leading to a cycle of negotiation that drained resources and focus. This strain on supplier relations compounded the difficulties already faced, revealing a complex web of interdependencies that had previously been overlooked. The evolving economic climate, marked by volatility and unpredictability, illustrated how the global ambitions of the fading company were hindered by forces beyond its control. Distinctive branding was a cornerstone in the strategy of this once promising enterprise. It aimed to establish itself as a trailblazer in the online fashion sector, capturing the essence of luxury and exclusivity. The bold color schemes and striking visuals were meant to evoke a sense of opulence, appealing to a demographic that sought not just products, but an elevated shopping experience. Despite these efforts, the execution often felt disjointed. The lavish website design, laden with multimedia elements, was intended to create a dynamic browsing environment. Unfortunately, this complexity frequently alienated users, who found navigation cumbersome and unintuitive. The lofty ideals of the brand contrasted starkly with the practicality expected from an evolving digital marketplace. Targeting a niche audience, it positioned itself as a purveyor of high-end fashion, yet the reality of its operations did not align with the aspirational image. An over-reliance on marketing buzzwords and high-profile collaborations failed to translate into sustained engagement or loyalty. The disconnect between brand promise and customer experience became increasingly evident, further eroding trust. In retrospect, the failure to adapt to consumer behavior and technological advancements reflected a broader misjudgment of market dynamics. The ambitious branding, while initially captivating, the burden of high expectations weighed heavily on the fledgling enterprise. Investors, lured by the promise of a digital retail revolution, anticipated rapid returns on their capital. Initial funding surged to hundreds of millions, creating an environment where success was not merely desired, but demanded. This pressure warped decision-making processes, leading to a relentless pursuit of growth without regard for sustainability. Marketing campaigns became extravagant, with resources allocated to high-profile endorsements and flashy advertisements. The founders believed that an assertive market presence would solidify their standing among competitors, yet this strategy diverted attention from the core elements of the business. As the financial strain mounted, operational inefficiencies began to surface. The website, designed to be immersive and innovative, frequently faltered under user demand, causing frustration among potential customers. With each passing quarter, the pressure intensified. The urgency to impress investors resulted in hasty decisions, often prioritizing short-term gains over long-term viability. Amid the chaos of rapid decision-making, an essential aspect of the landscape remained overlooked: consumer behavior. This region witnessed a seismic shift in shopping preferences as the internet began to influence purchasing habits. Consumers increasingly gravitated towards convenience, seeking platforms that offered seamless experiences. The emergence of user-friendly interfaces and streamlined payment systems became paramount in attracting clientele. Amidst this transformation, the expectations of online shoppers evolved. Savvy consumers began to demand personalized experiences, favoring brands that understood their unique tastes and preferences. This shift towards individualization marked a significant departure from traditional retail approaches. The fading company struggled to adapt, offering a one-size-fits-all approach that resonated less with a discerning audience. Trust and reliability also took center stage as factors influencing purchasing decisions. The rise of social proof, through reviews and user-generated content, reshaped how brands communicated their value. This change rendered many previous marketing strategies ineffective, further complicating the company's position in a competitive environment. Delivery speed emerged as another crucial element. Consumers began to expect quicker fulfillment times, placing additional pressure on businesses to innovate their logistics. The disconnect between expectations and the capabilities of the established online fashion store became evident, underscoring the challenges faced in meeting the evolving demands of a new generation of shoppers. Emerging competitors began to reshape the landscape of e-commerce in the early 21st century. This transformation was propelled by a growing understanding of consumer preferences and technological advancements. New entrants into the online fashion market harnessed user-friendly interfaces and streamlined purchasing processes, setting a new standard for customer experience. In contrast, the fading company struggled to adapt. While it invested heavily in ambitious marketing campaigns, the approach fell short when faced with the simplicity and efficiency offered by its rivals. Consumers gravitated towards platforms that prioritized ease of use, often leaving behind brands that failed to modernize their offerings. These newcomers not only embraced innovative technologies, but also developed agile business models, allowing them to respond quickly to market trends. This agility created a competitive edge that proved difficult for established players to overcome. E-commerce giants emerged, leveraging data analytics to personalize shopping experiences and engage customers in ways that resonated with their aspirations. As the market evolved, consumer loyalty became increasingly fickle, further complicating the challenges faced by those unable to keep pace. The consequences of this shift were evident, as brands that once dominated the digital landscape began to fade into obscurity. The relentless march of progress left behind a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of the retail environment, where adaptability is crucial for survival. Sales figures began their slow descent in the early months of 2000, signaling the onset of a precarious journey for the fading company. Initial projections, once optimistic, transformed into a disheartening reality as it became clear that user engagement did not meet expectations. In March, the once bustling website recorded a significant drop in traffic, a precursor to the challenges that would follow. By May, the decline was palpable. Abandoned shopping carts littered the site as potential customers expressed frustration with the cumbersome interface, a design that had promised to revolutionize online shopping, but instead alienated users. Monthly revenue figures reflected this shift, dwindling to levels that made operational sustainability increasingly difficult. In July, attempts to reinvigorate interest through marketing campaigns yielded minimal results. The brand's once vibrant presence faded further, overshadowed by competitors who had learned from past mistakes. By September, it became evident that the financial strain was insurmountable. The organization faced mounting debt, a stark contrast to its initial valuation and potential. October arrived with an air of inevitability as the last attempts to stabilize operations faltered. The final days were marked by a quiet resignation, where the remnants of a once prominent player in the online fashion industry were left to gather dust, a cautionary tale of ambition unfulfilled. The bankruptcy announcement sent shockwaves through the industry, reverberating across the market landscape like a distant thunderclap. Investors and consumers alike were unmoored by the news, as it became increasingly evident that a once revered brand had succumbed to its own overreach. This region, once vibrant with the promise of innovation and rapid growth, now faced an unsettling stillness as stakeholders processed the implications of such a significant collapse. A multitude of factors contributed to this downfall, including excessive spending on marketing and an expansive product range that far outstripped demand. They had pursued a strategy of rapid scale without a solid foundation, causing financial strain that the once bustling offices, characterized by high energy and ambition, now echoed with a haunting quietude. Employees who had dedicated their talents to the vision of a digital fashion revolution faced an uncertain future, their aspirations abruptly halted. Suppliers and partners, too, felt the ripple effects as contracts evaporated and relationships frayed. In this evolving landscape, the lessons of the fading company became apparent. The narrative of ambition unfulfilled serves as a reminder of the fragility inherent in the pursuit of success, especially within a rapidly changing digital economy. Liquidation proceedings marked a significant turning point for the fading company, as assets were meticulously managed in an attempt to recoup losses. Auction houses and liquidators were engaged to assess the value of remaining inventory and intellectual property. The process highlighted the importance of transparency, carefully cataloging every item while maintaining a somber acknowledgement of the company's previous aspirations. Digital assets, including brand recognition and customer data, were scrutinized for potential resale. Legal representatives navigated the complexities of intellectual property rights, seeking buyers who could harness the remnants of a once ambitious venture. Many marketing campaigns and website designs were deemed obsolete, yet some elements retained a flicker of value, attracting interest from niche players within the fashion industry. Physical assets were also evaluated, with warehouses filled with unsold garments and accessories. These items were sold at discounted rates to clear out stock, drawing attention from bargain hunters rather than loyal customers. The once prominent brand name, now synonymous with failure, struggled to find a foothold in an increasingly competitive marketplace. Administrative decisions during these proceedings were careful and calculated. The focus remained on minimizing losses, with the underlying recognition that many stakeholders had invested deeply in the dream of a digital fashion revolution. Investors found themselves grappling with the consequences of a bold vision that did not materialize. Financial commitments that had once seemed promising transformed into mounting losses. The abrupt cessation of operations left many stakeholders disillusioned, their confidence in the viability of online fashion e-commerce severely shaken. This region of investment, once characterized by optimism and ambition, now bore the scars of disappointment as funds evaporated into thin air. Employees faced an equally somber reality. The once vibrant office spaces, teeming with creativity and enthusiasm, became quiet and desolate. Individuals who had dedicated their talents and energy to the company now stood at a crossroads, confronting unexpected unemployment and uncertainty. The corporate culture that had flourished was replaced by an atmosphere of anxiety and loss, as former colleagues exchanged stories of resilience amidst the turmoil. This phenomenon extended beyond the immediate circle of those directly involved. The broader e-commerce landscape absorbed the shockwaves, prompting a reevaluation of strategies and approaches. Competitors had to reassess their own business models in light of the stark reminder that even the most ambitious plans could falter. Lessons extracted from this decline rippled through the industry, shaping future endeavors and steering investment into new, cautious directions. The echoes of this failure served as a cautionary tale, reminding all of the fragile nature of ambition in the digital marketplace. A deep analysis of Bookom's demise reveals several critical lessons for future e-commerce ventures. The ambitious vision of creating a groundbreaking online shopping experience. Investment strategies also emerged as a focal point. Bookom's lavish spending on marketing and technology, while initially enticing, proved unsustainable in the long run. This example underscored the imperative of balancing innovation with fiscal responsibility. Future companies learned to adopt a more measured approach, prioritizing incremental growth over grandiose aspirations. The significance of market timing became apparent. Boo.com entered a burgeoning industry characterized by rapid change. Their failure to adapt quickly to shifting consumer preferences and technological advancements served as a reminder for e-commerce businesses to remain agile and responsive. Lastly, the importance of a clearly defined target market emerged from this case. The confusion over Bookom's branding and offerings led to a disconnection with potential customers. This highlighted the necessity of clear communication and a focused strategy in reaching and engaging with the intended audience. The echoes of these insights continue to shape the landscape of online retail. The legacy of Bookom remains quietly influential, subtly guiding the evolution of design within e-commerce. Founded in 1998, this online fashion store, with its ambitious vision, sought to transform the shopping experience. Despite its eventual failure, it introduced features that have since become commonplace in online retail. The integration of high-quality visuals and an immersive interface was revolutionary, setting a standard that other retailers would strive to achieve. Lessons learned from its swift rise and fall prompted a reevaluation of user experience. E-commerce platforms began to prioritize accessibility, ensuring that the complexities of navigation were minimized. The ambitious attempts at personalization, while flawed, sparked discussions about tailoring shopping experiences to individual preferences. This region of online commerce began to embrace a more user-centric design philosophy, focusing on fluidity and simplicity to enhance customer engagement. Further, the dramatic end of Bookom served as a cautionary tale about overextension. Misguided investments in technology and lavish marketing strategies illustrated the importance of sustainable growth. Companies reflecting on this history have adopted more measured approaches, emphasizing incremental improvements over grand, sweeping changes. The remnants of Bookom's aspirations endure, resonating within the digital corridors of modern e-commerce, shaping strategies and inspiring innovation, even as the original entity has faded into obscurity. This evolution has been marked by a shift toward user-centric design, prioritizing customer experience over flashiness. Simplicity in navigation and accessibility has become paramount, steering clear of the complexities that once hindered early ventures. Online shopping platforms now showcase streamlined interfaces, enabling consumers to traverse vast inventories with ease. The importance of mobile optimization has gained recognition, reflecting the changing habits of shoppers who increasingly rely on handheld devices. This transition has driven companies to refine their digital offerings, ensuring they cater to an audience that seeks convenience and speed. Personalization has emerged as a defining characteristic of the landscape, driven by sophisticated algorithms that anticipate user preferences. These tailored experiences create a connection between consumers and brands, fostering loyalty while enhancing satisfaction. Social media integration has further transformed the online shopping experience, allowing brands to engage with customers in real time. Influencers and user-generated content have become pivotal in shaping perceptions and driving purchasing decisions. Data analytics has evolved into a cornerstone of strategic planning. Companies utilize insights gathered from user behavior to refine their offerings, enhancing efficiency and effectiveness. The lessons gleaned from Bucom's missteps resonate strongly, guiding contemporary businesses towards sustainable growth in an increasingly competitive digital marketplace. The focus now shifts to adaptability, resilience, and a profound understanding of consumer needs. A reevaluation of business models became imperative in the wake of changing market dynamics. This region witnessed the rise of nimble competitors who embraced a customer-centric approach, prioritizing agility and responsiveness. Traditional e-commerce strategies fell short as consumer expectations evolved, demanding seamless experiences and personalized offerings. The Fading Company struggled to align with these advancements, resulting in a persistent disconnect between their services and market demands. Investments in technology became critical as businesses sought to enhance user experience. Enhanced data analytics emerged as a cornerstone for successful e-commerce strategies. They allowed companies to anticipate trends and tailor products to consumer preferences, creating a competitive edge. This shift highlighted the importance of understanding behavioral patterns and leveraging insights to drive sales. Legacy systems often hindered innovation, leading to stagnant growth. Companies that embraced flexible platforms and integrated omnichannel approaches reaped the benefits of increased consumer engagement. The ability to adapt to mobile commerce and social media influences proved essential in capturing a diverse audience. New entrants to the market were quick to implement these strategies, leveraging social proof and influencer marketing to build brand loyalty. The once prominent online fashion store, unable to pivot effectively, found itself overshadowed by these agile newcomers, illustrating the critical need for continuous evolution in the ever-changing e-commerce landscape. User-centric design emerged as a crucial element in the evolution of online retail, spurred significantly by the missteps of the Fading Company. Observations of its complex interface revealed that customers often felt overwhelmed rather than engaged. This pointed to an essential truth: successful e-commerce must prioritize the user experience above all else. Accessibility became a fundamental tenet. Competitors began to implement streamlined navigation, ensuring that shoppers could effortlessly browse collections without the burden of convoluted layouts. This shift towards simplicity marked a departure from Bucom's initial approach, which emphasized aesthetics over functionality. The collection of user feedback transformed into a vital strategy. Insights gathered directly from consumers informed design decisions, fostering an environment where customer preferences shaped the digital shopping experience. This was a stark contrast to the rigid structures that Bucom had employed, which alienated many potential buyers. Responsive design played a pivotal role as well. E-commerce platforms adapted to various devices, recognizing the growing trend of mobile shopping. This adaptation ensured that users could engage seamlessly, regardless of their location or device choice. Many brands emerged from the dot-com crash, drawing on resilience and adaptability to forge new paths in an evolving landscape. These survivors often shifted their focus, prioritizing customer engagement and operational efficiency over rapid expansion. Their journeys reveal a strategic recalibration amid uncertainty. One notable example is Amazon, which initially struggled but transformed its business model to encompass a broad range of products beyond books. This diversification allowed it to capture a larger market share while enhancing logistical capabilities and customer service. The emphasis on user experience proved critical in retaining a loyal customer base. Another case is eBay, which capitalized on the growing interest in peer-to-peer sales. By fostering a community-driven platform, it created an ecosystem that encouraged user participation and trust. This approach not only weathered the storm, but also positioned eBay as a prominent player in online commerce. Meanwhile, companies like Netflix redefined their service offerings, shifting from DVD rentals to streaming. This pivotal change aligned with consumer preferences, providing convenience and accessibility. The foresight in adapting to technological advancements allowed these brands to thrive in a post-crash market. These examples illustrate how strategic pivots, a keen understanding of market demands, and a commitment to innovation can lead to revival in the wake of adversity, contrasting sharply with the fate of entities like Bookom. Changing consumer expectations have dramatically reshaped the landscape of online retail since the downfall of Bookom. In its brief existence, the platform struggled to meet the burgeoning demands of shoppers who sought seamless navigation and rapid access to products. The complexity of its interface, paired with slow loading times, alienated potential customers. This misalignment with consumer needs. Today's online fashion retailers operate in a vastly different ecosystem. The rise of mobile shopping has transformed how consumers engage with brands. Instant gratification, accessibility, and personalized experiences are now the norm. Shoppers expect intuitive interfaces, quick delivery, and tailored recommendations that align with their preferences. The evolution of social media has intensified this shift, with consumers increasingly influenced by peers and online communities. In this contemporary environment, brands must remain agile, adapting their strategies to align with the ever-shifting landscape of consumer expectations. The emphasis on sustainability, ethical practices, and inclusivity now permeates the market, further complicating the competitive dynamics. The lessons learned from Bookom serve as a stark reminder of the need to prioritize consumer-centric approaches, ensuring that offerings resonate with an audience that is more discerning and informed than ever before. The importance of scalability becomes evident when analyzing Bookom's rapid growth trajectory. Initially, the company experienced a surge in consumer interest, fueled by an ambitious marketing strategy and a glossy online presence. This excitement, however, quickly revealed vulnerabilities within its operational framework. It became apparent that scaling an enterprise without a solid infrastructure can lead to significant shortcomings. Resources strained under the weight of increasing demand, revealing a disconnect between expectations and reality. Technical challenges arose, exacerbating the user experience. Customers faced slow loading times and navigation issues, which undermined the very essence of online shopping. This region, once filled with promise, soon became a landscape of frustration for potential buyers. Investments in technology and logistics fell short as the company attempted to expand its reach across multiple international markets. The lack of adaptability to local preferences and shopping behaviors further complicated matters. It became clear that simply offering a wide array of products was insufficient. A deeper understanding of market dynamics was necessary to facilitate sustainable growth. This fading company illustrates how crucial it is to ensure that scalability is not merely an aspiration, but a fundamental principle woven into the business strategy. Without this, the allure of rapid expansion can quickly devolve into a cautionary tale, one that resonates within the annals of e-commerce history. In the aftermath of .com, a shift began to unfold within the realm of online retail. Technological advancements took center stage, transforming the landscape into one characterized by efficiency and user-centric design. Innovative platforms emerged, facilitating seamless transactions and enhancing customer experiences. The introduction of high-speed internet enabled smoother navigation, allowing shoppers to explore vast inventories without interruption. Mobile technology played a pivotal role, ushering in an era where consumers could access their favorite brands from any location. Retailers adapted, optimizing their websites for smartphones and tablets, recognizing the importance of convenience in fostering loyalty. This adaptation reflected a deeper understanding of consumer behavior, prioritizing accessibility and engagement. Data analytics became a powerful tool, offering insights into purchasing patterns and preferences. Businesses harnessed this information to tailor their offerings, creating personalized shopping experiences that resonated with individuals. The rise of social media further changed the dynamics of e-commerce, providing platforms for brands to connect directly with their audience, fostering community and interaction. Supply chain innovations streamlined logistics, ensuring that products could be delivered efficiently, often within days. The integration of artificial intelligence brought forth chatbots and recommendation engines, enhancing customer service and support. This evolution, marked by adaptability and technological integration, redefined the expectations of online shopping, setting a new standard for success in the industry. Data analytics emerged as a critical tool, reshaping business practices and customer engagement strategies. It allowed companies to delve deeply into consumer behavior, preferences, and purchasing patterns with unprecedented precision. This ability to interpret vast amounts of information provided insights that were previously unattainable, facilitating a more personalized shopping experience. In this landscape, the fading company struggled to leverage these advancements, while competitors harnessed data to enhance targeting and improve product offerings. It remained tethered to outdated methodologies. The absence of a robust analytical framework hindered its ability to connect with a rapidly evolving consumer base. Insights that could have driven innovation and adaptation eluded their grasp. Market shifts were analyzed by others, leading to a keen understanding of emerging trends. Meanwhile, the fading company found itself relying on instinct rather than evidence-based decisions. Inventory mismanagement and mismatched product lines stemmed from this lack of insight. Consumer preferences evolved, demanding agility and responsiveness that it could not provide. The disconnect between what was offered and what consumers desired widened, leading to dwindling sales figures. Without the ability to pivot effectively, the online fashion e-commerce store became increasingly irrelevant. Data analytics, a beacon of opportunity for many, illuminated the depths of its decline, highlighting the gap between potential and performance. The emergence of social media reshaped the retail landscape, presenting a new paradigm that many brands eagerly embraced. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter became essential tools for engagement, enabling direct communication with consumers. This shift offered unprecedented access to potential customers, fostering communities around brands and allowing for instantaneous feedback. The visual nature of these platforms particularly suited fashion retailers, providing a canvas to showcase products and cultivate brand identity. In this environment, established companies adapted quickly, leveraging social media influencers to amplify their reach. These partnerships created authentic connections with audiences, often translating into increased sales and customer loyalty. The immediacy of social media enabled brands to respond to trends in real time, an agility that was vital in a fast-moving marketplace. This responsiveness contrasted sharply with the struggles faced by companies like Bucom, which floundered under its own weight. The fashion e-commerce sector witnessed a surge in innovative business models driven by social media. New entrants entered the scene, often equipped with leaner operations and a deeper understanding of digital engagement. They capitalized on the growing trend of consumers seeking personalized experiences and curated collections. As established players redefined their strategies, the evolving nature of retail left behind those unable to adapt, marking a significant transformation in consumer behavior and engagement strategies. Positioned at the intersection of technology and fashion, this enterprise overlooked the growing importance of sustainability in consumer decision-making. The increasing demand for environmentally conscious practices began to shape the landscape of retail in ways that would soon prove critical. Competitive brands embraced eco-friendly materials, ethical production methods, and transparency in supply chains, appealing to a demographic increasingly concerned with their purchasing choices. In contrast, the fading company remained tethered to conventional practices, neglecting the cultivation of sustainable alternatives. This oversight not only alienated a segment of potential customers, but also diminished brand loyalty among existing patrons. The allure of ethical consumerism became a vital consideration, one that this retailer did not adequately address. While others pivoted toward sustainable approaches, embracing circular fashion and reducing waste, this entity continued down a path of excess, characterized by aggressive marketing and rapid inventory turnover. The lack of foresight regarding ecological impact and community responsibility rendered its strategies obsolete amid a transforming marketplace focused on sustainability. The missed opportunity to integrate these principles into its business model significantly contributed to its downfall. As consumers gravitated toward brands that aligned with their values, the absence of such considerations left this venture vulnerable. Adaptations in e-commerce strategies became essential as market dynamics continually shifted. This venture's rigid approach hindered its ability to respond to emerging trends and consumer preferences. The reliance on an extravagant website design, while innovative at the time, a lack of flexibility in adjusting pricing models further exacerbated its challenges. Competitors, agile in their strategies, adjusted their offerings based on consumer sentiment and market demands, often adopting a more customer-centric approach. These rivals demonstrated an ability to pivot swiftly, refining their platforms to enhance user experience and satisfaction. This environment of rapid change found the fading company unable to keep pace, resulting in missed opportunities and declining engagement. It became increasingly evident that an inflexible model could not sustain growth in an industry that thrived on adaptability. Operational inefficiencies also contributed to its downfall. As logistical challenges emerged, the inability to streamline processes left it struggling to fulfill orders and maintain customer trust. While competitors embraced technology to optimize their supply chains, this venture remained mired in outdated practices, compounding its operational difficulties. In this landscape, the importance of agility in e-commerce strategies became clear, serving as a vital component for success in an ever-evolving marketplace. Documentaries and retrospectives surrounding Bookom have emerged as a means of dissecting the complexities of its downfall. These visual examinations delve into the ambitious vision that once defined the company. Founded in 1998, it sought to revolutionize online fashion retailing. The glitzy interface, laden with features, was ahead of its time, yet. The narrative often highlights the lavish spending on marketing and technology, which proved unsustainable. This region of the internet witnessed a rapid expansion of competitors, each refining their strategies to capture a discerning audience. The challenges faced by the company are analyzed through expert commentary, emphasizing misalignment between consumer expectations and the user experience offered. In these retrospectives, interviews with former employees provide an intimate glimpse into the corporate culture, characterized by an urgent desire for success, often overshadowing practical considerations. The tech infrastructure, while innovative, struggled with delivery and usability, creating a disconnect that. Visual elements juxtapose the sleek designs of the original website with the stark reality of its operational challenges. This juxtaposition serves as a reminder of the risks inherent in ambitious ventures. The cultural impact of Bookom resonated far beyond its operational lifespan. This online fashion e-commerce store introduced consumers to the notion of shopping from the comfort of their homes, presenting an early vision of the digital marketplace. Visual elements, such as immersive graphics and dynamic features, captivated a generation unfamiliar with the concept of virtual retail. Despite its eventual decline, the principles established during its brief existence laid groundwork for future enterprises. The emphasis on high-quality imagery and a user-centric interface influenced an entire industry, shifting consumer expectations regarding online shopping experiences. This region witnessed a transformation in how fashion brands interacted with their audiences. As technology advanced, the digital strategies pioneered by Bookom became integral to the evolution of e-commerce. Retailers recognized the potential of engaging consumers through personalized experiences, often mirroring the techniques that had once drawn users to the now-defunct site. The failure did not erase the innovations introduced. Instead, it highlighted the necessity for adaptability in a rapidly changing environment. The lessons learned from miscalculations regarding logistics and market understanding served as warnings for emerging entrepreneurs. In the void left by its collapse, new players emerged, taking risks informed by Bucom's journey. This evolution illustrates the cyclical nature of innovation and the enduring impact of both success and failure in shaping industry trajectories. The landscape of online retail began to shift significantly in the wake of these events. Emerging trends took root, reshaping consumer expectations and the operational models of businesses. A focus on user experience became paramount as companies sought to create seamless and engaging shopping environments. Enhanced website designs prioritized visual aesthetics and intuitive navigation, moving away from the clunky interfaces of earlier digital ventures. Mobile commerce gained traction, driven by the proliferation of smartphones. Retailers adapted their strategies, optimizing platforms for on-the-go shopping, thus catering to an increasingly mobile consumer base. Social media also emerged as a powerful tool, allowing brands to engage directly with customers and create communities around their products. This interaction fostered brand loyalty that was previously difficult to achieve in traditional retail settings. Sustainability began to influence purchasing decisions as well. Consumers, now more informed and conscientious, gravitated towards brands that demonstrated ethical practices and environmental responsibility. This shift prompted many retailers to rethink their supply chains and production methods. Data analytics became integral to shaping marketing strategies. Insights gleaned from consumer behavior allowed for targeted advertising, personalized shopping experiences, and inventory management improvements. The evolving landscape reflected an industry deeply aware of its past missteps, striving for resilience in a competitive and rapidly changing environment. In the wake of Bucom's downfall, the online fashion sector underwent a significant transformation, adapting to the lessons learned from its predecessor's shortcomings. Innovative strategies emerged that emphasized user experience and streamlined interfaces. This shift prioritized accessibility over complexity, ensuring that customers could navigate websites with ease. Enhanced visuals and high-quality imagery became essential, aligning with the growing expectation for a premium shopping experience. Data-driven marketing strategies took precedence, harnessing analytics to understand consumer behavior and preferences. Companies began to invest heavily in targeted advertising, utilizing social media platforms to engage with potential buyers on a more personal level. This region, once dominated by broad strokes, now saw the rise of hyper-targeted campaigns that spoke directly to specific demographics, fostering a sense of community around brands. The introduction of influencer marketing marked a pivotal moment, bridging the gap between consumers and brands. Individuals with substantial online followings became instrumental in shaping consumer perceptions, endorsing products in an organic manner that resonated with audiences. This strategy not only enhanced brand visibility, but also cultivated trust, a vital component in an era marked by skepticism. Mobile optimization emerged as a crucial aspect of digital marketing, reflecting the increasing reliance on smartphones for shopping. Companies adapted their platforms to ensure seamless experiences across devices, recognizing that convenience significantly influenced purchasing decisions. Bucom, despite its ambitious vision, struggled to align its operations with the evolving landscape of online retail. While successful e-commerce brands streamlined their platforms, prioritizing user experience and accessibility, Bucom introduced a complex interface that often overwhelmed potential customers. This decision resulted in high abandonment rates, as frustrated users sought simpler alternatives. Successful competitors demonstrated a keen awareness of their audience's preferences, offering curated selections and personalized experiences. They utilized data analytics to refine their product offerings, ensuring relevance and engagement. In contrast, Bookom's extensive inventory and elaborate virtual showrooms failed to resonate, diluting the shopping experience rather than enhancing it. Logistical efficiency became a hallmark of thriving e-commerce enterprises. Many established brands built robust supply chains and fulfillment networks, allowing for rapid delivery and consistent service. Boo.com, however, faced significant challenges in inventory management and order fulfillment, leading to delays that further alienated customers. Marketing strategies also varied markedly. While successful brands invested in targeted advertising and social media engagement, Bookom's efforts leaned towards grandiose campaigns that lacked focus. The disconnect between brand messaging and consumer expectations. These factors collectively illustrate the pitfalls of Bookom. The landscape of online fashion retail evolved rapidly, leaving behind a once promising venture that could not adapt fast enough to the demands of an emerging market. Mobile commerce emerged as a pivotal element in the transformation of shopping behavior, reshaping consumer expectations and interactions with brands. The rise of smartphones allowed customers to shop anywhere and anytime, fostering a culture of immediacy that previous retail models could not accommodate. This shift rendered traditional e-commerce platforms, including those reliant on desktop interfaces, increasingly obsolete. Adapting to this new reality proved challenging for fading companies. They struggled to integrate mobile-friendly features into existing frameworks, often resulting in cumbersome user experiences. Frustration among consumers grew as they sought seamless transactions and intuitive interfaces that aligned with their fast-paced lifestyles. The gap widened between those willing to innovate and those who clung to outdated practices. As mobile shopping gained traction, it became clear that an agile approach was essential for survival. Companies that could harness the full potential of mobile technology flourished, while others were left behind, grappling with declining sales and customer loyalty. The inability to pivot effectively highlighted significant gaps in business strategies, leading to a loss of market relevance. This region of e-commerce became increasingly competitive as agile entrants capitalized on the shift, redefining customer engagement. The fading company, once a symbol of aspiration, stood as a cautionary tale of stagnation in an era defined by rapid change and innovation. Lessons gleaned from this cautionary tale reveal critical insights into the future of fashion e-commerce. The landscape, now populated with more resilient players, emphasizes adaptability and user-centric design. The importance of understanding consumer behavior cannot be overstated. Many failed ventures, including Bookom, neglected to prioritize the user experience, leading to complicated interfaces that alienated potential customers. Simplicity has emerged as a guiding principle, with successful platforms utilizing streamlined navigation and intuitive layouts. This focus ensures that the shopping experience is not only efficient, but also engaging, fostering brand loyalty among users. E-commerce strategies that integrate technological advancements play a pivotal role in shaping the industry's trajectory. Augmented reality, for instance, allows customers to visualize products in real time, bridging the gap between physical and digital shopping. This innovation addresses the disconnection often felt in online retail environments, a shortcoming that previous failures highlighted. Sustainable practices are also becoming integral to future business models. Conscious consumerism is prevalent, compelling retailers to adopt ethical sourcing and transparent supply chains. This shift reflects a broader societal trend toward responsibility and accountability, contrasting sharply with the reckless operations seen in earlier failures. Adaptation and foresight will determine which brands thrive in an ever-evolving market, making past mistakes invaluable in informing future successes. The psychology of online shopping has evolved significantly, yet Bookom failed to recognize its complexities. Consumers at the time valued ease of navigation and intuitive design, elements that this platform neglected. Instead of focusing on user experience, it offered a visually overwhelming interface that alienated potential buyers. The intricate graphics, while innovative, often resulted in prolonged loading times, causing frustration among users seeking immediate gratification. Trust played a crucial role in online retail, yet the company lacked the necessary strategies to foster customer confidence. Secure payment options, transparent return policies, and credible customer service were essential elements that remained inadequately addressed. By not prioritizing these factors, Bookom inadvertently cultivated skepticism, leading to abandoned shopping carts and lost sales. Market research indicated a growing preference for personalization. Consumers desired tailored recommendations and a sense of connection to brands. This was an opportunity that Bookom missed entirely, opting instead for a one-size-fits-all approach that did not resonate with its audience. The reliance on flashy marketing campaigns failed to translate into meaningful engagement. Understanding consumer behavior and preferences was critical for sustained growth. The absence of a clear grasp of consumer behavior. Investment in technology far outpaced the development of a user-friendly experience. The lavish website, adorned with flashy graphics and complex interfaces, alienated potential customers rather than attracting them. This inclination towards visual aesthetics, while initially appealing, proved detrimental as it hindered navigation and overwhelmed first-time users. The balance between innovation and practicality was crucial, yet it was lost in the pursuit of style. Financial management also played a pivotal role in this decline. Rapid expansion, fueled by aggressive marketing strategies, drained resources, leading to unsustainable losses. Without a solid foundation of revenue and a reliable business model, the ambitious vision crumbled under its own weight. Lessons from this decline extend beyond Bookom. They encompass the necessity of aligning technological advancements with consumer needs, the importance of maintaining a straightforward user experience, and the critical evaluation of growth strategies. In the realm of e-commerce, understanding the delicate interplay between ambition and practicality remains essential. The journey of Bookom encapsulates the volatility inherent within the digital marketplace. Born amidst the rise of the internet, it sought to revolutionize online fashion shopping. This vision, however, was marred by a series of miscalculations. Massive funding fueled extravagant marketing and a lavish website, yet the experience proved cumbersome for users. Many encountered slow loading times and complex navigation, contributing to the eventual decline. As it struggled, the implications of Bookom extended beyond its own walls. Lessons emerged that shaped the future of e-commerce strategies, emphasizing the importance of user experience. It became evident that the allure of innovation must not overshadow the fundamental need for functionality. The remnants of this venture serve as a cautionary tale within this region of commerce, highlighting that an appealing front does not guarantee success. The closure of Bucom left a vacuum, yet it also paved the way for a more grounded approach within the industry. Companies began to prioritize streamlined interfaces and efficient logistics, ensuring that customer satisfaction remained paramount. The echoes of its failure linger, reminding stakeholders that ambition must be tempered with realism. In the end, the story reinforces the notion that sustainable growth stems from a delicate balance of vision and practicality, a principle that continues to guide modern e-commerce endeavors.